Hey everybody, what's going on today? Van Scooter Shackelford, the Bonnie Lake Cowboy, coming to you live from inside the house of the Double S Ranch in Bonnie Lake, Washington. Today is Friday, February 20th, 2015, show number 19. I would be outside today, but it's kind of a crappy day out there. It's chilly and it's rainy, and I don't want to go sit out in the rain today. I don't like going out unless the sun's shining. Anybody know where the happiest state to live is? The happiest state in the United States to live is Alaska. What's that? I don't know. Alaska. That's true, though. They say it's due to their feelings of financial security, community pride, and overall good health. They're happy up there. There's a little side note. It says, you know, they have their problems just like any other state, but as an overall state, people that live up there by choice are just generally more happier than people that live, say, here. The top 10 safest cities from natural disasters, which, you know, earthquakes, floods, tornadoes, things like that, from natural disasters. The top 10 safest places to live is Troy, Michigan, number 10. Number 9, Denver, Colorado. Number 8, Chicago, Illinois. Number 7, Allentown, Pennsylvania. Number 6, Dayton, Ohio. Number 5, Bethesda, Maryland. These are the top 10 safest cities to live in from natural disasters. Number 4, Buffalo, New York. Number 3 is Akron, Ohio. Number 2 is Cleveland, Ohio. And the number 1 safest city in the United States to live in that does not have any natural disasters is Syracuse, New York. That's from CBSNews.com. See, Pontiac is getting ready to come out with their 2015 Trans Am, and they're getting boxier again. It looks like a square, but it looks like a beast and a monster, man. It's a pretty cool looking car. They have three models that they're going to come out with. The basic one has a 3.7 liter engine, and that'll give you 305 horsepower. That's your basic Trans Am. They have the Firebird coming out. It has a 5.0 liter engine with 420 horsepower. And they have a third one coming out, is a Pontiac Firebird Trans Am. It is a mix of all of those, and it has a 6-speed automatic or manual transmission and puts out 662 horsepower. That's a lot of horsepower. You're running, you know, that's pretty close to NASCAR. NASCAR puts out 800, so they're putting right, you know, they're getting right up there with the big boys. Basic starting price is $45,000, and that's expected to be released in May of 2015. I say I go through newspapers every now and then, and because about this time yesterday, when I was thinking about what I'm going to do for my Friday show, I didn't have a clue. I had nothing in my mind, blank. I had nothing wrote down in my book. The book was a blank sheet of paper. I had no idea. And I think, God, you know, I need to come up with something. I don't know what to come up with. So I just started flipping through the papers, and I just come across all these little tidbits and everything, you know, things for information for you guys. So. If you're doing your laundry and you forget about something that's in a dryer and you want it to come out wrinkle-free, but you don't have the time to iron it, I know this kind of redundant whether you have time to iron or not to iron it, because it's going to take about the same amount of time. But if you don't like to iron, so just throw like 3 or 4 ice cubes in the dryer, turn it back on its highest setting, and turn it on. Dryer warms up, the ice cubes melt, it makes a little steam in there, and your clothes come out wrinkle-free. But don't try it with your blue jeans, because your blue jeans are too heavy. It won't work on your blue jeans. The Treasury Department says 334,000 people will file a United States income tax return this year with false information and an improper Social Security number. And that will cost the United States government $700 million in tax returns, or in undeserved tax credits. Anybody ever heard of the town Rugby, North Dakota? Rugby, North Dakota. Me neither. But if you want to know where it's at, look for the geographical center of the North American continent. That's where it is. That's where you'll find it. Rugby, North Dakota. If you lived in the early colonies, you know, when they first came here on the East Coast, you know, the 13 original colonies, if you lived back in those days and you made $4,000 a year, you were considered extremely wealthy. $4,000 today is nothing. I mean, it is to me because I don't make $4,000, but some people do. But if you only make $4,000 a year and you consider wealthy, wow, that's. If you live in the state of Georgia, we have some friends down there in Georgia, down around the Atlanta area. So all you Georgians, listen up. If you live in the state of Georgia, it is illegal to have a picnic in a graveyard. Me? I'll go to the lake and have a picnic. If you want to keep weeds and other unwanted grasses out of your garden or whatever, if you have something, a little flower bed made up, on the side of our yard over here, we have it's probably 4 foot wide by 15 feet long. It's a little area that there's the trees and my wood bins are over there and a couple other plants, but it's all just dirt. I've raked all the old bark dust they had up there and raked all that out there, so I'm going to put some new down this year. To keep the weeds and grasses and things like that, dandelions from coming through, if you take wet newspaper, soak the wet newspaper really, really good, lay down a couple of layers of newspaper, and then put your weed block or your plastic over the top of that. Then you can put your rocks or your wood bark, whatever. The wet newspaper, for some reason, I don't know why, it's a better weed blocker than just the weed block itself or the plastic itself, because you know if you lay down just plastic or the weed block, you know that the weeds, they find a way to go through. And apparently the wet newspaper keeps them from doing that. There's some wet newspaper down there. How many people knew this? I mean, I knew this, but I didn't know exactly how or why, but knew that the male seahorse, you know, the little seahorses, gives birth to the young. Did pretty much everybody know that? Well, I mean, I did, but I didn't know all the specific and peculiar about it. I really don't care, but I just found it interesting. What they do is that when the male and female find each other, they intertwine their tails. They just kind of dance around, float around, and it's in some strange way, it's teaching the young the movements of the seahorse, what they're to be expected when they get older, I guess. But they do this mating dance for like 8 hours, and they just intertwine their toes, just swim around. That's how they hook up. And the male seahorse has a pouch on the front of him. The female seahorse deposits her eggs into the pouch, and she can deposit up to 2,000 eggs. And the male fertilizes them, and when it's time for the little seahorses to come out, I guess they just come up out of the pouch or whatever, and if they feel danger, he can suck them back into his mouth so they're safe, or they go back into the pouch. It's kind of like a kangaroo thing, you know. I get that little pouch going on there, but yeah, the female can deposit up to 2,000 eggs. That's a lot of kids, man. And pregnancy lasts 10 to 25 days, depending on the species of the seahorse. So, tomorrow, Saturday, a good friend of mine, Wade Campbell, we call him One Hit Wonder Wade. His band Inside the Gate playing tomorrow at Louis G's Pizza. I'm gonna put this little brochure up here. We have a Mechanism, No Avail, Theory and X, Inside the Gates at Louis G's Pizza tomorrow for $10 cover charge. It's all ages event. These are 4 metal bands, man, and I do like my metal rock. I love it, so I'm gonna go and check these guys out. I especially want to see Inside the Gates, because that's my Wade Campbell. That's my buddy's band, so I want to go check that out tomorrow. So if you ain't doing nothing, if you guys are around here in Fife, Tacoma, Puyallup, Bonnie Lake, check these guys out, man. I guarantee you'll be a good show. Also, anybody watch the NASCAR yesterday? Anybody catch the Budweiser duels? I caught them. I watched them yesterday. And the first lap, or the first duel, number 13, Casey Mears, spun out on lap 26. He had a blown engine, so he went to the pits. Number 83, Johnny Sauter, and number 47, Allmendinger. They got tangled up in lap 29. These are 60 lap races on the first one. Trevor Bain spun out in lap 54 and clipped Kyle Larson, number 42. I guess it was just a little bit of damage on Larson, so they finished the race. But Dale Jr., Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans, he won the first duel yesterday. And Ty Dillon got in on there was what they call the bubble spot, whether you're going to make it or not. Ty Dillon got in, and I believe Austin Dillon got in on the race also. So congratulations to the guys who won the first duel. On duel number 2, the number 98 car, Josh Wise, the race was on their pace laps, and he had a fuel pump problem. He never made lap 1, so he was out, and I don't think Josh is gonna make that race. And by the time they spend their travel time getting there, and cars and the crews and all they gotta pay, there was $250,000 gone that quick. So lap 22, David Reagan spun out, but he will race. He'll make the Daytona 500. Lap 37 was a pretty good wreck with number 7 Alex Bowman, 95 Sam Hormish, number 3 Austin Dillon, 26 Jeb Burton. Jeb Burton was cause of the wreck, man. Alex Bowman kept apologizing. It wasn't your fault, Alex. It was Jeb Burton's fault. If you watched their pre-race or the rerun, you'll see why. Poor Danica. Her and Denny Hamler just having a battle back and forth. I guess he clipped her in the rear end Thursday, and he did the same thing yesterday. So they're two are having it out, but they had to finish that race with the green-white checker. Danica Patrick, Bobby Labonte will make the race. Ryan Newman and Brian Scott. I think Brian Scott's in the race. I'm not sure. I didn't quite catch all the finishing of that race, but anyway, Jimmy Johnson ended up winning the second duel. So it's a Daytona 500 starts this weekend. Time starts at noon on the West Coast, 3 o'clock on the East Coast. So that's the report for today, guys. That's just enough to keep things going there for the weekend, and everybody have a good weekend, man. I'm glad y'all had a great week, and hopefully everybody is doing good this week. So that's it, man. That's all I got today. I'm going to go take a siesta on the couch over there. I got a few things I need to get done around the house here real quick, so I'll go take care of that. And according to the timer on the camera up here, it's almost time to go anyway. So, with that being said, from the Double S Ranch in Bonnie Lake, Washington, Van Scooter Shackelford, Bonnie Lake Cowboy, have a great weekend, y'all. We'll see you on Monday. Thanks for looking at me. Thanks for listening to me. We'll see you later. Bye, y'all.